Good morning, guys and girls. Rob here with you this morning. We're going to have a special guest on in just about 5 minutes, maybe a little less than that. We'll send the invitation out across the pond, and we'll have him on in just a minute. Update with um, the Wimbledon. Update with Wimbledon. Djokovic looking for his 8th Wimbledon title, 24th Grand Slam, which is a record if he can win it. Right now, he's losing in the second set, 2-1, and Alcaraz seems to be getting his forehand going right now. Number one Alcaraz against number two Djokovic. I still say Djokovic will win this tournament, but I think it's going to take him 4 sets to beat this guy. And the longer it goes, Alcaraz probably has an advantage just due to age and stuff, but Djokovic is in great shape. You would think 4 sets probably won't affect him too badly. He's in such great shape. But we'll see how. We'll check every once in a while, and I've got the score board right here. And if Djokovic can break him, he's got a chance. Right now, he's actually down. Djokovic is down love 30, and he's serving right now. So, yeah, he if he loses this set, he's going to have to really be wound up for third set. Third set's a huge set. If you go up 2-1, you more than likely you win. More than likely you win. So, but Djokovic is not giving up on his second set yet. Right now, he must have broke Alcaraz too. So he's down 15-30. But yeah, if he can win this game right here, they're back. They're back on stride. They're back on stride. So we'll see what happens. All right. Like I say, I've got some invitations out this morning to some people, and one of them is a friend I've had on the channel. Oh, once or twice is all. And he lives up in the Shetland Islands. And where's our maps at? Our maps. What we did with the maps. We got the maps around here somewhere, but he is well above England. And here comes our Cleveland fella. Cleveland.
Hey.
Yeah, we're gonna have my man come on this morning from the Shetland Islands. How about that?
Paul Govier.
Paul. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He told me he said give him about 15 minutes. I've actually been talking to him on Messenger this morning. How you doing this morning?
I guess I'm still technically in recovery. I worked 8 hours, then went and go play pinball for. Well, unfortunately, the guy that I was going to play with forgot, and it took him half hour after we were supposed to.
Started.
And then
now
because we're better players.
When you say the guy you were supposed to play with, now number one, is he on your team?
There's no teams. You have to have somebody there to make sure that you're not cheating.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty much like golf. Like if you hit a hole in one, you want somebody to witness it. It's a witness. Oh, okay. Now, when you go and play pinball, what is it average? Let's say 40 people there are going to be playing to see who can win. 100 people there to see who can win. 500 people to see who can win.
Well, it's usually it's a point-based system, so it's based on a score that you get per game.
Okay.
You get the top score, you get like 100. There's some bonus points that I don't think I can explain.
Okay,
it goes like 99, 98 down to.
But generally, how many people are there and say, "Okay, I'm going to play in a tournament tonight"?
Well, it's not tournaments; it's a league. So it's like you play 12. I'll get to tournament in just a second.
Okay, so it's kind of like bowling league. If you sign up for it early on, you got to show up for each time.
Yes, and the nice thing is they break them up into banks. So there's like 6 of them. You have 2 weeks to play 12 games, or you can show up one time and play all 12, which is what we
Oh,
did.
okay. All right.
And unfortunately, because we got there so late, for the first 6 weeks they allow a mulligan for each bank, and you can replay the game, but you have to take that second score no matter what, if
Oh,
it's higher
okay.
or lower. But because we were there so late, the store was closing, and so we didn't have a chance to do our mulligans. We're like, screw it.
Now, how
So,
far is that from where you live? 30 minutes?
10, 15 minutes.
10, 15. So that's not bad. Yeah.
No,
Um,
it's actually not far from where I go to church.
weather up there. Has it been very hot up there? Not been, or has it been just rainy as all hell?
Rainy.
Really? See,
Yeah.
I believe it's relying somewhere in the U.S. right now because I watch this guy on YouTube called Post 10.
Yeah,
And-
I've seen him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does drains and stuff like that. Maine, New Hampshire, all up in there. They're getting just so much rain. It's crazy. While we're kind of on the line. Like one day it pours down, but the next day we get 96 degrees. I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers. Right now we got a lot of wind going on out here. And yesterday evening, I got to admit, it was yesterday during the day, probably, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. I look on YouTube and it says Heathrow Airport landings or Heathrow Airport, So I just figured, well, let's watch Heathrow and see what happens. You look at the bushes and they're doing this. And I mean, it's 30 mile an hour. So the airplanes are coming in like this, Tim. They're looking like they're sideways. You know how they look like when they land. And I'm not lying to you. When they were landing, some of them actually had their wings almost hit the ground when they, yeah. That is some scary stuff.
I wonder if there's I understand that even with nothing on there, they probably have enough weight to land it, but you would think that maybe they were like, you don't have enough weight, you can't land here. Or whether just the wind just plays havoc with it.
I don't know. And you got to think, a lot of times they're coming from probably someplace in the U.S., so they're probably not going to have a whole lot of, I don't know how much fuel.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, how much fuel they're using.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can a 747 take off from New York and just say the hell with, England or Europe, England anyway, and go all the way to Spain or somewhere further inland, or are they doing good just to get that? You know what I'm saying? Doing good just to get that far. I don't know. Here comes Paul. We got Paul in here now. I sent him an email. Paul, you got an email. Go check your email, my friend, and then you can pop in here. I'm eating a banana too. I am eating a banana. My wife said, "Can you get rid of this banana for us?" Yeah. Eat the damn thing. Not a big banana person.
I can't have them anymore either. So
you should have told me you didn't want it then, you dumbass.
I didn't say I didn't want it. I'm just not a big banana person. No time. But I like eating them once in a while. She's gonna give me a hard time. She said, "You should have just told me you didn't want the damn thing, then, dumbass." Let's give you guys an update on Wimbledon right now. Djokovic has tied it 2-2 now in the second set. He's up a set, and he's down 40-15 right here. But Alcaraz staying on serve right now in the second set. But this is a big set for him. He cannot go down 2-0 and think he's going to come back. I don't care if he is the number one player in the world right now. Djokovic is no joke, and you can't go down.
Whipped his ass in the first set. Djokovic did.
Djokovic ran through him in the first set. He gave him a couple of line shots that right on the paint and got by with it. Here comes Pjat too, and he didn't know what to do. He really didn't. He was just lost.
Also, is there a way that they can get? I understand that you have to take a year off possibly for it to regrow grass. Man, that shit looks bare as hell by the end of the 14 days.
Oh yeah, yeah. I to me, this is what I think should happen. I think when it gets around to the semis and the finals, they should actually have a newer turf, and even one that maybe they hadn't played yet, and be like, okay, let's have something to show show the nice green off. That is not anything to be a. I mean,
I'm looking at the side that
right there,
Alvarez
right
is
there,
on.
yeah, right there where they serve.
Yeah.
It's just barren. It's just barren. That's all it is. It's barren.
Well, like it's you're
not,
technically almost, if it rained, you're almost playing on clay.
yeah. Well, if it rains, they can't play. They're not allowed to.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. Then they put the tarp over.
They put
yes.
they'll put the tarp over the. But still, yeah. Let's see. I'm going to be a 5 at Gmail. All right. Let's see. That might be a new one. He's probably got a new email since the last time I saw him. Yep, I can send it to you.
Let me get in the room here so I can see everybody. Hello, PJet. Hello, Paul. I'm sure we'll see Paul here in just a second.
Did he put Gmail there? At Gmail?
At gmail.com, yep. Yeah. Hello,
right.
Philip. 2 weeks using the same area wears thin. Yeah, I get that, but there's got to be a better surface that you can use, or maybe make that court special so that you have a.
Yeah, right. For the semis and finals, the people that spend all this money have the championship court or the nicest courts kind of closed off for the week. I mean, yeah, I know you got 25 courts and all, but still. Maybe you could still, why not build 2 more and call them the championship weekend courts? I don't know. That's the
other problem that you have, Rob, is that what use are you going to get out of them for the 2 weeks, the 50 other weeks that,
Yeah.
Are you going to charge an arm and a leg to have people pay it?
And the thing of it is, you could have people play on that all the way to March, April.
Yeah,
it would be fine especially because I want to say now the one they got is a retractable roof. Even I'm not sure if that's so or not. I will find out. I'll find that out in a few minutes. But I think it's a retractable roof on there now. But would it work? Some AstroTurf on surface. Now,
I don't want AstroTurf. I don't want Astro or Field Turf because then the ball bounces different ways, and I want.
Well, and then you're also going to have problems with people ankles and knees and stuff too. No, I wouldn't go that route.
No, not a chance.
Baseballs went away from it. And then
from Field Turf.
Well, from AstroTurf anyway. They from the old pavement under the grass, that kind of stuff. I can remember when they would play in Houston and hit a ball in the outfield and the damn thing bounce over somebody's head 6 foot tall. That's just not natural. That's not natural.
No, and now they're calling for a better field turf for the NFL because of all the knee and ankle injuries.
Yeah.
But good luck with that. It's like I said.
What it's going to come to with the NFL, it's going to come to where all of them are going to have just grass of some sort, and they may end up going to some of this type of grass that the golf uses that ends up being kind of bladey grass, but still. It's pretty serviceable, I think.
They'll leave in Pittsburgh because when they have the last weekends in like November, when you have Steelers, Pitt Panthers, and the high school state championships there, that grass gets eaten alive.
Yeah, La Cruz, he stole home the other day. Yeah, I want to say that might have been before the All-Star break.
Yeah,
it was before the All-Star break. And welcome, Paul Govier. How you doing, Paul?
Hi, Paul.
Now, it's we're talking what time? 3:20 where you're at. Is that correct? Can Paul hear us? Can you hear us, Paul?
Testing, testing.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. I'm doing well.
All right. So it's what, 20 after 3 over there? Is that right? 20 past 3?
Yes.
Yeah. So, we have our the sun go down here probably 10 after 9, 5 after 9, 9 o'clock. What time does the sun go down? Like where it gets dark where you're at?
At this time of year, around about 11:30 at night.
Wow. 11:30 at night. Now, what time does it get light in the morning?
Light in the morning, really about 1 o'clock in the morning. We don't get a lot of darkness this time of year
Oh my
because we're
goodness.
so far north.
Wow. So you're you got about 22, 23 hours of daylight then.
It not really getting fully dark.
Yeah. So it's light 21, 22 hours of the day where you're at then.
In the morning,
Well,
I'd say about 1 a.m.
well,
Yeah,
okay, hold
wow.
on. I think we're still having some technical issues here.
I think so. I think so too. Yeah. Let's see. You may have to hit.
I think do you mute YouTube? Because I think there may be a delay. going on.
Yeah. Paul, do you have YouTube on? If you do, mute
Yes.
that. Paul.
Let me cancel YouTube a minute.
Yeah.
Right,
that'll
cancel
help.
YouTube.
See if that helps.
June the 21st is 24 hours of daylight here. Midsummer's Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
If you're that far north, yeah, that does happen.
But you
Yeah.
suffer because in the winter, come 21st of December, you're getting about 4 hours daylight.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, do you have any days during the year you don't have any daylight? Kind of like parts of Alaska where it's no daylight at all.
No.
No. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. And that would freak me the hell out. Okay, your wife says, okay, let's go to the grocery store. Okay, what time is it? It's 9 a.m. And you walk outside and you can't see your feet because it's so damn dark outside. And then you come home from the grocery store at 11 a.m. and it's still just as dark. And you're like, okay, yeah. It kind of like when I was a kid and I was sick one time. I'll never forget this. I was sick as crap. I was feeling so bad. It's about 4 in the afternoon. My mom said, okay, take a nap, go lay down. And I lay down, and it was in the summertime, and I got up about 8:15. So I look outside, it's 8:15. First question I got, is it 8:15 at night, or is it 8:15 in the morning? Have I slept 16 hours or 4 hours, but that'll freak you out a little bit. That's wild. Now, you're on one of the Shetland Islands.
Yes, on the mainland.
Okay, so you're not on one of the little islands, the small islands.
No,
how many small islands are there?
There's Fair Isle, Fuller, Yell, Unst, Walser, Fettler, and there's always one you can never remember. There's one more. There's about 8 or 9 inhabited and a load uninhabited. Papa Star.
And like for you to go from where you're at to one of those islands, I bet it costs a lot just to get on the boat to go to one of those islands.
It's not too bad internally,
Okay.
We've got bus fares and we can go 13 miles for about £3 on a bus.
Oh, so not bad, then. Not bad.
No.
It just, but you told me how much it costs to get back to Scotland?
Oh, that's another story.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm over 60, so I get 2 free return trips on the ferry now.
Oh, okay.
Money.
All right,
but if a family of 4 came for a week with a cabin on the boat, because it's an overnight 12-hour ferry, you're looking at not a lot of return from £400 to £500.
Wow. And Are you able to drive your car onto the ferry to where you can go
Yes.
across? Oh, okay. All right. So you're able to do, and you have like 2 return trips a year then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's not too terrible then.
But it's
Um,
just me in the cabin. I don't get the car free or anything like that. I have to pay
Oh,
for it.
okay. All right. So you was just telling me about the Open that's coming. The Open is coming over this week. You
Yeah.
know, you were watching the Scottish Open, and did Rory win that?
Yes, he won it on the 18th. He putted a birdie just to beat the local Scotsman, Rob McLaughlin, who held
Okay.
it. And Rory hit a great iron shot in on the 18th and
Oh,
left
okay.
himself a birdie chance. Otherwise, we're going to playoffs.
Yeah, and that playoff is hole by hole. Well, all of them are hole by hole.
But Fleetwood made a total mess up of the last hole.
Really?
He drove it in the rough, came out of the rough and hit. There's a wall about maybe 100 yards short of the green, so he finished the wrong side of the wall.
Yeah. Now, has he ever? He's never won a major, has he?
Who, Rory?
Fleetwood.
Don't think so. No.
No, and of course we got America's darling, who's not my darling, but a lot of folks are like, this guy's never won a major before. We're talking about Ricky Fowler. Now Fowler this year has come around. I don't know what it's his iron game. Obviously, I've looked at his iron game. He went from 193rd to 8th.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know how in the hell you can do that without getting a whole new set of irons and getting a whole new swing and having somebody show you how to play the game a different way. I don't know. But he's playing really well. He's won a tournament over here this year. He's come in the top 10, 12, a bunch of times, 5, 6 times.
It's like anything. You can just change a shaft on a club and it can make a hell of a lot of difference to your game.
Yeah.
One of the most recommended things is, if you're playing at a reasonable handicap, is to go for a golf fit-in and get clubs that are suited to your game.
Yeah. Now, do you play?
I do.
I love to play. Yeah, I love to play as well.
The Open course that's this year, I actually played in 1987 when I was in the Royal Navy. I've actually played the course of this year's Open.
And this year, let's see, it's not Royal Liverpool. It's
Liverpool.
Royal.
Hoylake.
Royal Hoylake?
Hoylake.
Royal Hoylake. Okay.
It is really Royal Liverpool, but because it's based in Hoylake, the little village of Hoylake, which is just over the Mersey, it's on the Birkenhead side of the river.
Now is on a difficulty scale, 10 being difficult and 1 being easy. Are we talking? I mean, when we talk about St. Andrews now, I mean, you've got people that are amateurs over here that say they can go to St. Andrews and shoot nearly par because it's not that hard a course. Is this course a lot harder than St. Andrews, or is it going to be double figures under par?
I think it's just a bit of, you can shoot almost par, but is that net par for these guys, these amateurs? So they really shoot a 94, but they've got a 24 handicap, so they're shooting a 70.
Okay.
Are they shooting this par net or gross?
Yeah.
That's a lot different in golf.
Now, is this course harder than St. Andrews, you think?
No, I'd say it's a little bit easier.
Wow. You see, I consider St. Andrews, I would say that is not one of the most difficult. I would say if you shoot 69 or 68 there, that's pretty much like par if you're a pro, because it's not that many sand. How about sand traps and stuff? Is it?
There's plenty at Royal Liverpool. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
They've got a new hole, the 17th. It's a par 3. It's 135 yards for the pros in the Open, but the members actually play it from 99 yards. It literally is like a postage stamp to land on.
Right. Wow. Do you get the OE on the Shetland Islands, Paul? PJ asked.
The OE?
I don't know what that is. OE. Do you get the OE on the Shetland Islands?
Yeah, but when we played it the way the members play the course at Hoylake. And the first 2 holes they play in the Open are the 17th and 18th when you play it as a member.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Because when we played it, the first hole is right by the practice area. So all the right-hand side of the fairway going up is out of bounds.
Oh, okay. Now
'Cause
let
it's
me
like
ask
a
you,
90-degree dog leg around the practice area.
and the par is
I can't remember now.
okay. I'll find out in a second. Right now, Carlos Alcaraz 4-3 over Djokovic in the second set, and Djokovic is up a set. So we'll see what happens.
Mm.
OE is a playable word. It means a win from the Faroe Islands.
Faroe Islands.
Oh, Faroe Islands. Yeah. People freak out when they see that word on the board. I see Faroe Islands are northwest of Shetland.
Yeah, they're another country totally alone. They're nothing to do with our islands. They're their own rights.
Now, are they in Europe?
Yes.
They are in Europe, though. Okay. All right.
Well, Iceland's in Europe, which surprises me, but
what's in Europe?
Iceland.
Yeah.
And that's part of Europe, which I would have thought with more Greenland would be more to your sort of North America.
Now is Greenland? Is that also Europe?
I don't know. I think that's North America.
It's actually, I believe it's. Well, I don't think they count it as a country because it's technically property of Greenland.
Oh,
so no, probably the Netherlands, I believe. Property of the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, have you ever been over to U.S., Paul?
Once.
Okay.
In 1987, we were in the Royal Navy and we docked at Jacksonville in Florida for a week.
Okay, so you were in Florida.
Yeah.
That's where you came. Oh, okay. So you were in the hot areas there. Now, what time of year were you there?
June.
Oh, so yeah. It was hot. It was the real deal then. Okay. Yeah. So where's your nearest golf course to you now? Do you have one even close to you now, and not very far at all? Maybe 10 miles.
14 miles is my golf course that I'm a member of.
Now, yeah, that was another thing I was going to say. You guys go by kilometers more than you do miles over there, don't you?
No. We're very much miles. You're very kilometers.
Once you go over to Scotland, you start kilometers.
No, kilometers aren't part of us. Kilometers are something as in mainland Europe, France, Germany, all that sort of area.
Not even England.
No, we still do everything in miles per hour and miles.
Oh, okay. That's a surprise to me. That one is a surprise. So,
and I think our mile is a different distance to your mile as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Ours is 5,280 feet. Yeah.
Yes.
528.
What's that in yards?
Divided by 3.
Divided by 3. Yeah.
5,280. Let me look and see.
That's 1760 in yards.
Yep. That's how many yards? 760 yards.
1760.
1760. And how many yards is your mile?
Just looking now. I think
that is wild. That is wild. If he was to drive a car and I drive a car.
Yeah, we're the same actually. We are the same as you. 1760.
It is the same?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I would be wild if you said, hey, Rob, I want you to meet me at this restaurant. It's 5 miles from me, but 6 miles from you. That'd be wild as shit. That'd be
That's because I take the scenic route.
Oh, my gosh. Now, wildlife you have over there. Do you have deer over there?
No, wildlife for us is 3 months a year. We have the puffins that come into Sombra Head because the puffins only come ashore for 3 months of the year to breed.
So it's a type of fish.
No, puffin's a bird.
Bird. Oh, puffin. Okay.
It's got a very colourful beak on it. It's a black and white bird with a very colourful beak.
A white body with a black.
Are they real? Are they big?
No. Not very big usually.
No, they're not big.
Now I'm watching yesterday Heathrow Airport. I'm watching these airplanes land. Then all of a sudden, this guy starts showing this bird. I don't know what the hell kind of bird it was. Oh man, they almost look like those damn. They almost look like a little penguin. They wild looking.
Yeah.
Puffins have a flight speed of 55 miles an hour. Oh
Yeah, they flap
wow!
their wings like anything. And also, it's nice because we get to see killer whales just swimming in the wild here.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
And all right, let's see. So as far as you see, because I know you don't have like any snakes over there.
No,
snakes.
otters.
You have otters. Okay.
I actually had a wild hedgehog in the garden this week.
I guess that's something kind of like a groundhog then. A groundhog, hedgehog. I don't know. Are they big? Groundhogs here are big.
No, hedgehogs are very small. But it's
Okay.
a very spiky thing.
Oh, okay. We have ground.
You never played Sonic the Hedgehog growing up, so
Yeah, I did.
The kind of misconception is that hedgehogs ball themselves up and then can roll really fast. No, they ball themselves up, yes, as a defense mechanism.
Oh, okay.
But not. It's more just defense mechanism.
See, we have these over here. We have those damn things. They're not mean. They look mean as shit, but they are bigger than a cat. Those damn things. They're pretty fat and all. If you want to hit one, you damn well know it because it's big. But it looks like the one you've got real small.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's wild. That is wild. So, because over here. Oh yeah, but you can't pick that thing up, though, can you?
No, and if
It's-
they
because they
feel
have
feared, if they get feared, they actually roll themselves into a ball.
And have their little kind of like a porcupine.
Spiky, yeah, spiky.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, because we have porcupines here somewhere in the U.S., but I don't know exactly where. And some of them, I think, can even shoot their
Some of the porcupines
spikes
will shoot.
towards you or whatever, which is. Oh man, I'd never have. I don't know much about that. That's something I don't know.
Yeah.
But see, in the U.S., we're such a big country. If you go down to the southern part of the U.S., you can see crocodiles, alligators, pythons, different things like that.
Lizard.
Then you come
That's
up.
killing Florida.
Yeah, well,
The pythons that have been released in Florida are killing the Everglades.
Yeah, and then now they caught one the other day. It was 18 feet long. That thing was that damn big around. It took 4 of them to catch him. But when the guy caught him around his mouth, right? I mean, behind his head, his mouth went like this. And I'm thinking, all right, how in the world can you hold? I mean, you hold on to that thing with dear life, and then finally they got the mouth put together, and then they taped it together, and then they had it put down. But man, oh man, yeah, whoever started that deal coming from other countries bringing those damn things into Florida, that was really not a good thing.
That got them, they're mainly people got them for pets. They've got too big for them. They've let them go.
Yeah, and it's just you just can't do that. It's just nuts. It's crazy. And then when you get to our part of the country, you got rattlesnakes, you got copperheads, you got cottonmouth moccasins, and then you got if you go in the mountains, you got elk, and then virtually anywhere in the country you see deer. I mean, those damn things. Good night. I mean, yeah, me and my wife can tell you a good story about that. We hit one not too long ago and tore our car.
Highlands of Scotland are well known for its deer.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I used to have to drive a road from Fort William to Mallaig. It's 40-mile road that's one way. That basically Mallaig's here. And the first time I brought my son up, we had to stop with a deer across the road, and one of them looked at the window. And, was he frightened? He just saw this face in the window.
Oh yeah.
But a deer, you hit it, you're more liable to wreck your car than you are the deer.
Oh yeah. The deer may survive, but you're going to hurt yourself probably. Yeah. And then if you go far enough north, you start getting up to Maine and close to the Canada area, you got moose. Now, moose is a totally different thing. A moose, if you're riding the largest SUV in the United States, his neck is still above the SUV.
Wow.
These damn things are 12 feet tall. A deer on the average here in the U.S. is 195 to 230 pounds. A moose on average is anywhere from 1,100 pounds to 1,400 pounds. Yeah. they have hoofs twice the size of a.
Or just the size of the antlers on a moose.
Oh yeah, and they don't. Yeah, the thing is, we have gotten close to it before and driven, and more apt than not, once they see you, they go the other way. But unlike a deer, you've seen a deer, and his eyes would shine back at you because they have eyes kind of like people do.
They're attracted to the light as well, the deer.
Right. But a moose has marble eyes. They're dark, so if you got a light shine on them, it does not shine back at you. It does not. You can't look and tell when they're looking at you, which is nuts. It's crazy type stuff. Yeah, it's wild. Who are you liking next week to win the Open? Do you think it's Rory's tournament to take, or do you think it's just such wide open, especially with all these live golfers coming in there going to be playing too?
I think the live golfers shouldn't be allowed back in. They've decided to go off and run off. I'm annoyed with the PGA even cracking a deal with them.
Well, and the thing is, the one person that I want to see gone now is this guy from the Golf Channel named Brandel Chambly. Brandel Chambly, for the whole time, I respected him for it. Had he said, live this. They've put their money this way. I don't respect them nothing. Now Liv pays a purchase into the PGA Tour, and now is part of it, or is going to be a part of it if everything works out this way. And now he's going to stay working for them. And the Golf Channel is owned by the quote unquote PGA Live Tour, so they pretty. I'm like this about it.
No, to me, the guys have gone for the money. Yeah. They've let the PGA Tour down. They've let the European Tour down. They've walked away from it. Why should we let them back? They've sold their soul to the devil. Let them stay.
But now the PGA sold its soul to the devil. So now it's pretty much, it's going to be an open track for them to come back in if they want to. It looks like to me, I think they're going to be able to get back if they want to, because money is the root of all evil, and right now the money that's what's happening. They're accepting the money, and the commissioner, he said from the start, and I knew this was a lie when he said, the Live Tour doesn't want anything from us. They just want to put the money into it. They're not putting billions of dollars in there and not asking for something in return. They are.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. I was hoping Liv was going to go a bit like Kerry Packer with the cricket. When he started that cricket thing out, give it 3 years and it failed. I was hoping Liv was going to do the same.
And I don't think it's going to now. I think it's going to. Money's going to make it right.
And to me, you've got guys that have stayed with the PGA Tour, the European Tour, worked hard to get their tour card, and then they see these guys coming back in.
Yeah,
that have left.
But now, anytime that money is going to get offered to any of these golfers, they're crazy not to take it now, knowing that the higher ups, if you don't accept it, they will take it. They'll take it out from under you.
And any sportsman's only got a limited time he can stay within his career, and then his body won't compete with youngsters. So you've got to make your money at the time when you got the chance.
I don't hate on somebody, especially like a Phil Mickelson or Ian Poulter, that's up in their 40s and into their 50s, and they're saying, look, Ian Poulter, we're going to offer you $40 million. He probably wasn't looking at $40 million more earnings in his career, because he's not the golfer he was at one time. Now, obviously, Phil, on the other hand, he was offered $250 million, and the reason I'm sure was he's got all these sponsors, and most of them dropped him. But I'm hearing now that Callaway may come back to him now if he comes back on the tour. If they do that, then they're selling out just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about soccer? Are you a big soccer man, EPL man, Premier League?
No. Championship for me.
Okay, all right.
I'm in
And
the one division down because my club play in that league, not in the Premier League.
is that's the league that Allen's team's going to this year?
Yes, Alan's team's
Yes.
coming up. He's
Yeah.
got to come and play us twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Sheffield. Oh, wow. The Sheffield Wednesday route to the second tier league.
It was a 1-0 win. 1-0 win in
I was
extra
on my
time.
I was on my
Get to that
cruise,
round.
and then I saw the result, and I thought I knew Alan was at Wembley to watch the game, so I
Uh-huh.
knew he'd be happy because he didn't think if they didn't do it in the top two, he didn't have any faith in the getting through the playoffs.
Right.
Well,
Now who's your team?
Bristol City,
Bristol City. And they've been in the Premier League before.
not in the Premier League. We've been in the old First Division before it became the Premier League
Okay.
back in the 70s.
Oh, okay. So they haven't been in the Premier League in the last 20 years then.
No,
No. Now, next year, do they have any hope of getting the top 3 to move up to the Premier League? Do you
I'm
think?
looking at transfers we're making at the moment. We've got one young 20-year-old that I'm hoping we're going to hold on to for another season. But there's a lot of interest from Spurs, Wolves, Brighton in him.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't blame him taking the money and moving.
Now, is it up to him to do it, or is it up to the team?
We've still got a year of him left on his contract.
Okay.
And if he won't take a new contract, then we'd be better off selling him to make some money out of him.
Okay.
Because once a guy goes out of contract, they can walk away for nothing.
Now, what's this deal with loaning? Now, I've never heard. I mean, I've heard of it. Loaning players. What happens there? Is it just to let them go to another team and stay sharp, but you're still paying them, or how exactly does that work?
A lot of clubs have got a lot of players,
Mhm.
and many of the Premier Leagues will put their younger, like their under 23s, out to other clubs. So rather than playing in the under 23s, they're getting actually football experience at another club.
Okay.
As for who pays them, it depends on the agreement between the clubs.
Okay.
You know,
Now,
if you
and
got
that's
a player, you might have to pay all his wages. You might have to pay 60% of his wages.
right.
Clauses are quite often put in that if
Okay.
we've got a player on loan to Oxford United and we draw Oxford United in the cup, then that player we've got on loan with them is not allowed to play against us. It's quite often put into contracts as well.
Oh, understood. Now, yeah, so that brings it clearer. Then I was going to say, let's say your team loaned that young kid out to the Spurs.
Yeah.
Spurs agreed to pay him 100% of his salary this year, but he got hurt. It never got to play again. Would the Spurs owe you guys something from that loan, or would that have to be something in the contract?
It would all depend what was in the contract.
Okay.
It's
So
like
it's not cut and dry every time.
It's like Leicester City have just got relegated from the Premier League. They never put any relegation clauses in any of their contracts. So now they've got to pay Vardy 120 grand a week to play in a lower division.
Leicester was in the bottom 3.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Oh my gosh! And they won it all 11 years ago?
Yeah.
12. Oh my gosh, they was champions of the Premier League, and then now,
yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, but
so Jamie Vardy.
They've still got to pay all their players at Premier League rates because they didn't have no relegation clauses in any of the contracts.
Oh my gosh! So your team has clauses in it that I guess if they move up to Premier League, they'll end up getting bump and pay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if we then go down to League One, they'll get a drop in pay.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Okay, I thought.
And Rob, you get the curious case of Luton Town, who has to, and if your team gets, like Paul, if your team gets up to the Premier League, has to make certain adjustments to their stadium to fit the Premier League standards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Luton would probably be better off building a whole new stadium because their stadium is so small and so tight. I don't see where they can expand it or anything.
Well,
literally,
has it where it's technically you're going
to stands are maybe 2 yards from the touch lines. Some of the nearest stands in the whole of football.
So let me ask you this then. So your team that you follow now, how many if it's full, the stadium is full, how many people will it hold?
29 to 30,000.
And is that enough by standards for the your EPL, or would they expect you to have 15, 20,000 more?
Well, you just got your stands. The trouble is, you're not going to make the money if you can't get the fans in.
Right.
So you don't have to increase to be part of the Premier League. You can stay with 30, 40,000.
Now, is your team very, very difficult to go like difficult in a difficult area to get to?
No.
Or are they okay? I got
We're
it.
out around the back of Bristol, out by the Clifton Suspension Bridge and all that around the back.
Oh, okay. And that's something me and Darlene and now Keith, one of our friends, is like he wants to go over there so bad. But Brentford only has 18,000 capacity. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They've done well since they've been up in the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah. And who was the biggest surprise this year for you? Was it that
Luton.
Who was that?
Luton.
And where are they finishing the Premier League?
They've gone up this year from the Championship.
No, who was the biggest surprise in EPL this year for you?
I think they're always going to get it, but Brighton would be one of the.
Did they finish in the top 10?
Brighton finished well up in the top 10. I think they even qualified for Europe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Did Man United? Did they finish in Champions? Or are they going to be Champions League next year? Are they top 4?
No time for Man United. Sorry, I'm the guy that's got no time for Man United.
I don't like. I'm a Man City person. I like Manchester City.
Oh, I think Man City
was third, so they did qualify for champions.
They did.
Man City have probably got one of my favorite players in the whole of football at the moment, De Bruyne. I think he's such a skilled player.
You like De Bruyne?
Yeah,
yeah, and he's getting a bit. He's a little bit older.
Yeah, but his ability to put the ball in the right place for the strikers and everything.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what. How about their striker? Is he not? Is he a top 5 player in the world?
I saw the striker, and I would say after watching him against Scotland, but there he'd had a long season playing for Norway. No, I wouldn't put him in the top 50.
Really?
Yeah. The performance he put in that game at Norway.
Wow.
He scored, but for most of the rest of the game.
Wow. Okay.
He looked totally. But it's like certain strikers. They're only as good as the ball that's supplied to them.
Right.
You know, a striker fits in well at one club because of the way they play.
You
got changes clubs.
And you got 7 world-class players around you. Yeah, you got 7.
It's because, like, some guys like the ball played up. Like, to me, a good centre forward is the one that you can pump the ball up to, and then you can hold the ball until the rest arrive.
Yeah, their old striker they had. What was his name? Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. He left.
Jesus that went to Arsenal.
Not Jesus.
Gabriel Jesus.
No,
he went to Arsenal.
Not Gabriel Jesus. It was before him. Oh, geez, he was a striker, and he scored all the time for him. I can't think of his name. But
I think I know who it. Not Martinez. No, that's my name, isn't it?
No, that wasn't his name. What was his name? It'd been like 2019. 2019 Manchester City roster.
Not Aguero, was it?
Yeah, Sergio Aguero.
That's it.
Now, where would you put him back in?
I would put him in the top 20 in the.
Yeah, he had a good boot and a good head.
I think if Kane now goes to Bayern, it'll be a sensible move for him.
Who is that?
Kane goes to Bayern. I think it'll be a sensible move for him. Harry Kane
to leave the Spurs?
Yeah, and go to Bayern Munich.
Wow. Do you think it happens?
I think it would do Kane the world of good. I think Italy, Spain, Portugal don't play Kane's style of football. Yeah, in Germany, they play the style of football that would suit him.
He likes to control the ball a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't
He-
think any of the other leagues would suit him as much as going to Bayern would.
So what's the chances you think he's going to end up leaving? Do you think it's 50% chance or less than that?
Well, it'd be interesting because Spurs have just appointed the Celtic manager as their new boss.
Oh, okay. That will be interesting.
And Brendan Rodgers has gone back to Celtic, the Leicester manager.
Really? Wow. Now, and then of course next year we got to be watching out for Liverpool and Arsenal again. And both of those teams are really they're moving on up and up.
Well, I think Liverpool got to do something with their midfield. They need to bring it down in age. Milner's already gone to Brighton, but there's a couple of others that really they could do with putting some youth into their midfield.
Yeah, and
I think that's why they struggled last year. The age of their midfield, like Henderson and all that, were getting towards the end of their careers.
Do you think Man City was a major part of theirs? Was their goal?
I think a lot of it was Arsenal's failure to capitalise on games and threw too many games away to draws. They went from wins to draws.
Because Man City, the first third of the year, was behind in points. They were behind in points, and then like you say, Arsenal all of a sudden, Arsenal, I want to say, out of 5 games had 4 draws.
Yeah, a couple of them they were like 2-0 up. A few of them they were 2-0 up and drew 2-2.
Yeah, and that's throwing a lot of points away when you only get 4 points when you could have gotten 12. That's a lot of points. Yeah, that is a lot of points. I actually like Erling Haaland. I actually think he's a really good player. I really do.
Yeah.
What helps him? I tell you what helps him is his size. He is a big kid. I mean, when I say that, what is he? 22 years old? 23? Mm-hmm. He's not very old.
And also his workload, his work effort as well. Is good.
Yeah. And
it's like watching Real Madrid. They've got a great Brazilian under 21 on the left wing that loves to attack. He's a great hard attacker, but he won't come back and defend.
Now, how about the kid? How about the guy that went down here to Miami to play for the in the league here over in the States? What's his name? A lot of people call him best player in the world. Not Ronaldo, but he's over here playing now in.
Lionel Messi.
Messi, he's playing over here He's over here playing for Miami now.
Is Beckham still running one of the sites in the MLS?
I want to say Beckham got away from it. Beckham was playing some for LA Galaxy, but I don't think he owns or has anything to do with it. I don't think he does.
He's not playing, but
I don't think he has any ownership stake in it. He may, and now when he does, he could have a 10, 15, 20% stake, but I don't think he has a major ownership stake in none of them. But Messi now, he comes over here to Miami and wants to play now. Is he washed up, or is that? I
think, like you say, it's a money thing. A few of our guys are now going to Saudi. Because the money's there, not in China now, where it was a couple of years ago. Everybody was going to China because the money was there.
And MLS has a pool fund, so it's pretty much. They'll go to the owners and say, look, do we want to spend $8 million, $10 million on Messi? Yes. A lot of times they'll pull a name out of a hat and say, okay, that's who he plays for. So it's not like one team is out here with a billionaire owner from Washington, D.C. and for D.C. United and be like, guess what? We want Messi. I'm willing to pay him $15 million. And it's kind of a pool fund is the way they're doing that. Also, Beckham is the president and co-owner in Miami. Okay.
Yeah, Inter Miami. That's what I was just looking at. I knew it was something to do with the club in Florida.
So he owns part of that, and he got Messi to play for him. Then. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Very interesting. Now, Tim, do you have their record? Miami's record right now as we speak. Are they up top or are they like way down? You'd figure they'd have to be close to the top. In the Eastern Conference or in the top 6, I would say yes.
Miami is last place.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. So what they're trying to do then is draw crowds, draw people to come. Yeah.
5 wins, 14 losses, and 3 draws.
Wow. So they're just trying to keep a team above water. That's what they're doing. All right.
Yeah.
That's wild. That is absolutely crazy. How about this Tour de France, Paul? Have you been watching that?
Yes, I quite often, it's one of my favorite games to replay, and is Roberto Schiaviani's Heroes of the Road for cycling Grand Tours.
Oh, really? Really? So
Yes.
I didn't. Oh, okay. I have never seen that game. I have.
Oh.
Oh,
It literally probably takes me about an hour and a quarter to run one single stage, because you run everything. You run the intermediate sprints, you run all the King of the Mountain points, you look for
Really?
breakaways, retirements.
Now, if you were playing against people, it'd probably be even more fun, wouldn't it? Like if you had each
I
person.
think it works great solo for me, but this is one of the games that
Okay.
works great solo, not playing with anybody.
Okay. All right. And what's the name of it again?
Heroes of the Road.
Heroes of the Road. I gotta look into that. I hadn't heard about that.
Big crash yesterday, though. That really
And a big crash, and another one
quite a
today.
few.
Did you see today's crash?
No.
And today somebody should get locked up because, Jumbo Visma rider comes by and the guy actually grabs his handlebar and pulls it. He intentionally grabs a handlebar. This is my resolution. Anybody caught on the pavement, it should be arrested. They should be off of the pavement of the roads and give these guys enough room. What do you think about that if that was a rule?
I'm quite happy. You watch them coming up some of the hills and literally they're closing in on the bikers.
Right.
Bikers have got no room.
Did you see where the second place guy yesterday tried to make a move in the mountain? And when he's tried to make his move, he went around a couple of people. Then all of a sudden, he catches a motorbike right in front of him, it's blocking him. Did you see that?
No, but
the
bike should be well out the way.
That was yesterday's stage, and the reason the motorbike hadn't moved up is because all the people. It's said that the people could reach across and touch each other's arms, and that's how much space you've got for a bike to get through. That's not right.
Seven riders never started today after yesterday's stage, including one of the top riders, Roman didn't even start, Roman Bardet.
And he was up top there. He was close to the front early on. Yeah.
One of them finished with a broken collarbone. 2 of them had concussion. One of them, they're questioning the protocols today. Should he be allowed to ride on and complete that stage?
Oh.
Now in football, rugby, you get head injury assessments now.
Yeah.
And they go over, and if they don't pass that, they don't come back on the field, and they have 3 weeks off of rugby.
Okay. So you're a big rugby fan then. Okay. Are you an NFL football fan?
Yes.
Yes. College football fan?
Yes.
Yes. Now, which one, if one's on one channel, who's your favorite NFL team? Let's say
Raiders.
The Raiders. Let's say the Raiders are playing the Broncos on one channel, and your favorite college football team is?
Sooners.
Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is playing Oklahoma State on the other channel. You're going to watch?
The Bedlam Day.
You're going to be flipping back and forth?
We'll be flicking backwards and forth, yeah. But there's only one Bedlam Day once a year. Cowboys versus the Sooners, so.
Oh, okay. So you're going to be watching that. I got you. Yeah. And that, and so, wow. Who's your favorite Oklahoma player of all time?
Mayfield.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. That was a surprise. I thought maybe you was back far enough to where you watched Brian play.
No, I've not really got into Sooners maybe in the last 8-9 years. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you missed Adrian Peterson.
But was it Merrifield, the quarterback, that made it into the Mayfield, the quarterback that's made it into the NFL?
Yeah, and he's now at Tampa, I think.
Yeah, he's struggling a bit with his first club.
Yeah, well, he's been through a few clubs since then.
But it's a big step up.
It is. It is. And now we'll see what he does if he gets to play. I think it's Tampa. Is it Tampa or North Carolina, or is it Carolina? I think
No,
it's Tampa.
he was in Carolina. Then he went to
if you went
Los
to the
Angeles.
Raiders, then I would go for Marcus Allen as my all-time star.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there, man. Oh, man, he was an awesome football player. A sporting event in the U.S. that you would love to go to, even if it's the Bedlam, whatever. What is one place you'd like to go and say, okay, I'm there? If it's a 50-yard line, Oklahoma State, 50-yard line for the Raiders against the Cowboys, Week 16, see if they go into the playoffs. What would be it? What would you like?
It would be a Stanley Cup game. I'd like to go and see.
And who's your team?
Ice hockey, Maple Leafs.
Oh, wow. So would you want to go to Toronto, or would you want to go somewhere in the States and watch Toronto come?
I'd like to watch them in Toronto.
In Toronto, or maybe play Boston?
Or even Ontario or Montreal.
Oh, yeah. I guess Montreal would be a good one. Okay. And is your favorite player Austin Matthews in?
I couldn't even tell you on play.
Don't know that. Okay.
But
I
I must admit, when I go to the mainland to visit my son, I always try and fit in a Dundee Stars UK Elite Hockey game.
Oh, okay. That's a minor league, like a minor league type game, or
it's our major league in the UK. But if you look at the sides, they're probably 80% Canadian.
Okay.
Really? Oh, wow.
Even the GB hockey team, you could probably call Canada B.
Fights going on over there. I bet it is.
You get a few, not as much.
Yeah, the minor leagues now have
okay.
transitioned into sort of we actually want to produce players that'll move up. So you'll get your designated enforcers,
right?
You won't get the NHL.
You don't see.
Oh yeah, I watched Fife last year, and there's one guy in the middle of the park, and he was just bullying everybody. He was just like a big bully on the hockey pitch.
He's the Brad Marchand.
But he intimidated enough to make the other side play poorly.
Now, who you want to win the Tour de France? Do you want the yellow jersey to win, or do you want the guy chasing him right now to win?
I'd like to see another British winner. I'd like to see another UK winner, but it's not going to happen at the moment. Pidcock, I think, is going to be the guy to watch in the next few seasons, though, for the Ineos Grenadiers. But I suppose Tadej Pogačar.
Yeah. Tadej Pogačar.
If he doesn't take the yellow jersey today, then he's going to have a problem, because Pogačar going up a hill can just pull away from anybody, it seems.
Yeah, it does seem like that way. It really, really does. And not having Cavendish in it just kind of takes it away from it too. He.
But the one thing I do like is the amount of tactics and the way, the peloton will let the breakaway group go so far in front.
Yep.
And they're looking for certain riders. If certain riders aren't in that group, they're not going to worry about that group. If
they let them go, they just let them go.
If they should go, then fine.
Right. Once one of those guys that can get one of the jerseys moves up there, the peloton's awake and it's looking like got their ears up, and then when it's time to move, their team captains or whatever in the cars will say, "Time to get with the program, boys."
I must admit, I do like the name of the team captains. They call them Chef de Keeps or something. The actual team managers.
Oh, really?
But yeah, there's a lot of tactics that people don't realize in cycle racing,
Yeah.
Like Pogačar's not worried about the group in front. He's worried where the guy with the yellow jersey is.
Right. That's all he's worried about is where the yellow is at, because that's the only one he has to beat.
And Pogačar won't really ride. He'll have one of the other his team members.
Yeah.
Used to ride out. It was like Geraint Davis used to do a brilliant job, Geraint Thomas, for Chris Froome.
Yes.
And that's the one guys you want. It's like you say, Mark Cavendish. He's never going to win a Tour de France.
No, because he's a sprinter.
Stages.
Right. He's there for the sprints. Right.
That's why he's in the team as a sprinter. Nothing else.
Yes. Right. Right.
You'll find
anytime he's mountain stages, you're not going to hear from him.
No, most of the stages you'll finish somewhere between 130th and 160th
Right.
because
And
it's
then
not a
those
flat,
sprint-
it's not a sprint.
Right. And then those sprint stages, he stays 70th to 50th until the last 20 kilometers. Then you start seeing him moving up, and he gets behind about 6 of his teammates and be in the line of 7, and he'll be the 6th one or 7th one.
Towards the end, he's got one rider that's responsible for leading him out and getting him in the right place at the right time for the last kilometer.
George Hincapie was.
Yeah. One guy will ride out and Cavendish will just follow him out, and he'll set the pace to get Cavendish into the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Sepp Kuss.
And that's
Sepp Kuss is one of those guys that sets pace. He sets the pace. He's not a sprinter, but he gets up there and paces everybody.
And that's that job of that lead out rider. He's never going to win the Tour de France, but that's his team job.
Right, and that's where he makes his money. That's how he makes his money. Yeah. But Sepp Kuss, he's one of the guys from the U.S. He gets up there in the first, if they racing 140 miles, first 120 miles, he looks like a madman. Or first 130 miles. But then he does his job and then moves back. And he's going to finish 80th every time. You don't see him win many stages. Very few.
I'm going to say a favorite one-day race for me is the Paris-Roubaix.
Okay, I've never heard of that one. Now,
it's one, but it's got 30 cobbled sections in as well as road riding.
Wow.
Some of them are like cobbled sections, like going down farm tracks and that. And
now,
some of the accidents happen there.
Let me ask you this. Let's say they get to the final stage and it's 10 seconds between the leader and second place in this final stage of the Tour de France. Will they actually race then, or they still just pretty much give it up to the guy, because it's almost became a majestic type thing to where
it's almost like a parade stage, yeah.
It is.
That's why that's what I like.
I would love to watch. I'd love to see them race on that stage.
I'd like to see the Tour de France do what the Giro do. And the last stage is an individual time trial.
Oh, okay.
There's no team riding or anything else.
It'd be like
a 40-mile time trial into there, and then it is a race towards the end.
Yeah, it'd be like 5 laps.
Turn the signal on.
Be like 5 laps around that around there.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
But no, you would start somewhere like 30 miles from Paris. You would then maybe have a hill somewhere in the middle of it.
So you wouldn't want to see them making those laps, I tell you. You wouldn't want to see them making those laps.
No, I'd like to see an individual time trial where everybody's against the clock and anybody's got a chance of winning it. And,
so you wouldn't want a team. How about a team time trial?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's been dropped now. They used to have it.
They don't have team time trial anymore.
No, where the 7 riders would start off.
And they had the first 6 across the line.
First 4 to cross the line were counted.
Was it 4? Oh, okay. First 4 to cross the line. Yeah. How you doing, Keith?
I'm good. I'm all right. I took this antihistamine pill last night.
Can we be quiet? We might wake Keith back up.
Morning, Paul.
Hi, Keith. How are you doing?
He said, let's be creepy quiet. He said we might wake Keith back up. We've been talking about hedgehogs. We've been talking about golf. We've been talking about tennis. We've been talking about soccer. And now let's see what's the situation. Alcaraz right now is just about ready to take his second set. He's up 7 games to 6.
Yeah, that's it. That's second set's over.
Set.
That's
just
the
won
set.
the tiebreak.
And he got it 8-6. Okay. So now they're in the third set. Djokovic is serving 1 set apiece. Yep. Who's going to win it, Paul? Who's going to win this thing?
I think Djokovic will just have too much frog.
4 sets, 5 sets?
5.
5. Tim?
The experience will win over youth, I think. 4 sets.
Yeah. 5. I'm going to go 5 sets. I'm going to go 5. I think Alcaraz shows a lot of spirit. How about Keith? Do you know anything about tennis?
I haven't kept up with it the last 5 years, probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw Djokovic was up 4-0 in the first earlier, but
he was up 3-0 last I looked. Yeah.
Yeah. and then he ended up winning the first set 6-1. It loses his second set 7-6 and 8-6 on the tiebreak. So it's one set apiece. And Alcaraz is looking to break serve here. We'll see what happens. He's got an advantage here, so we'll see what happens.
They are bitching at the chair umpire terribly this game.
Well, when you think that Djokovic got done for hindrance and he went down on his knees and couldn't believe the umpire called him for it in the semi-final.
Yeah, and then he slipped. Did you see him slip in the first second game of the match? He slipped when he tripped. He tripped up and he fell. And the referee said, "Please get up, Mr. Djokovic." And I'm thinking to myself, "Damn! If I just fell, I'd be ready to throw a tennis racket at your ass too." Damn! You just try to catch your wits about you when you fall onto the ground.
Yeah.
Or I guess overseas they call it the floor. You fall to the floor. Yeah.
Big question.
Yes.
Is America going to have a T20 cricket contest like the Indian Premier League, the T20 Blast 100? Do you think it'll ever get to a bigger money spinner in America?
I don't think so, because I don't think there's enough interest over here. But because aren't most cricket matches like 2 days?
Well, T20 is a time.
T20 is just a 3-hour game.
Oh, it's a 3-hour. We could get Alec Bohm to do it, because Alec Bohm hit one yesterday off the ground. Oh no, it wasn't Alec Bohm. No, it wasn't Alec Bohm.
It was Castellanos.
Yeah, it was Castellanos. It bounced a foot and a half in front of the plate, and he hit it with a bat. So I guess we can get him to play.
Rob, our issue is that we don't have grounds big enough for a cricket match here in the States.
No, we don't. I don't think so either. I wouldn't even know. Now, have you ever played cricket, Paul?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. You don't play with a glove.
The catchers do.
No. Just catch it.
But now, is the ball as hard as a baseball, or is it more of a bouncy type thing?
It's as hard as a baseball.
Really? And when you catch it, it hurts like hell to catch it.
No, you catch it properly, it doesn't hurt like hell.
Oh, you catch it properly. Oh,
if you actually go, like you say, hands up like that, and then as the ball falls in, you bring your hands down, so you take momentum with the ball rather than just try to go bang. Yes, that would hurt.
Oh, okay.
You actually go with the ball. But
now,
I used to have gloves because I was the wicket keeper, so I could have a set of gloves.
Okay,
right.
now how about playing the other game?
But it's just with the money involved now in these.
Did you ever play
like
that?
West Indies and everything else?
Did
I
you
just
ever
wonder
play?
whether America would try and fit in something.
I don't think they would, but I don't know. Did you ever play not football, but what was it? The other game you were talking about?
Rugby.
Rugby. Did you ever play that growing up?
I played rugby.
Oh man, now that's a tough game to even sit and watch, man. That's a tough game to sit and watch.
I saw something on Facebook the other day that made me laugh. Footballers spend 90 minutes pretending to be hurt. Rugby players spend 80 minutes pretending not to be hurt.
Oh wow! How about that? Wow,
it's still there's high school clubs that my alma mater I think has a rugby club in the States.
I used to come home on a Saturday and my wife would say, "Where can I and can't I touch you?" because it'd be so bruised and battered.
let me ask you this: Why doesn't an NFL team go over and find like the 5 biggest rugby players and say, "Look, I want you to be my offensive line for me," and just run the football all the time? I don't think nobody over here could stop those guys.
But you can't block. But you can't block guys from tackling in rugby union like you can in American football.
You can't block like that, huh?
No.
Oh, okay.
Now, does rugby have the a rule like what we have in the NFL to protect the quarterback? Or like if you touch their head, you get a foul.
Oh, if a scrum half's waiting at the back of a ruck where the ball's on the ground, you can't touch him. But otherwise, apart from that, no. If the scrum half runs with the ball, you can hit him as hard as you want.
Clothesline him. Can you clothesline him like a wrestling match?
No. You ain't
allowed to do that.
Tackles need to be below the shoulders.
Oh, okay. All right. That clears up a lot of things. So you can't beat them upside the brains either. So, all right. Okay.
I did read something though that the NFL is making a rule adjustment.
Legally,
though.
tackle should be below the shoulders. Let's get that right.
I like it. I like it. I like it legally. He says legally you can't do
Well,
it.
it's,
Yeah.
it's like some of the tricks. You would go into a scrum, and I'd be in the second row, and you put your hand between the props, grab his shorts to hold on to him. But quite often, you could let go of those shorts and punch the opponent's prop.
Now, how many times you ever put your hands and arms in there and getting bit? Do you ever hear
Never
about
got
that?
bit. Got trod
No.
on a few times. Never got bit.
You did what?
Got trod on a few times because I was on the wrong side of the ball.
Oh, okay. Now, have you ever heard of any of them ever getting bitten or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. And now, who's your favorite team?
No, I
Hey,
thought when it came to biting, that was something to do with boxing and Mike Tyson.
Well, he do that too. Mike Tyson, he only goes for ears, though. He doesn't go for hands. Now, over there, who's your favorite team?
Bath.
Bath. Okay. Now, are they roughly in the area you live in or way away from where the hell you
Where I
live?
was brought up and raised, yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Bath
right.
is about 5-6 miles from Bristol. And obviously,
Are they a good team, though?
Bristol's not a bad rugby team now. They share the Ashton Gate with Bristol City Football Club.
Is
And
Bath
Bristol
is Bath a good team?
And the Gasheads, Bristol Rovers, now use the old rugby club, Memorial Ground.
Oh, okay. Now, Bath.
Because
Are
where
they a
Bristol Rovers Stadium was is now an IKEA.
Is Bath a good team?
They have their ups and downs season wise.
Okay. And how many games will they play in a season? 20?
16 in the league.
Okay.
No, more than that. It's normally 12, isn't it? 11, 22 games in the league, and then there's all the European Cup competitions as well.
So you play home and away just like you do at So you play home and away,
Yeah.
all 11 teams.
Yeah.
There's
And
12.
also the top, like so many, will go into one European competition, and the top next set will go into another European competition.
All right. And the
So quite often
championship,
you're playing.
what kind of cup or what kind of title do they win? What is it called? When they win the big thing?
Rugby Premiership.
Rugby Premiership Championship.
Yeah.
It's just a big trophy.
But what I annoy is like in summer football, I don't agree with the playoffs in football. You know,
don't like it, huh?
1 and 2 go up and then 3 to 6 play off. Well, to me,
Uh-huh.
6 could be 10 points behind the third place side. And yet, why should they go up? You know, you've had 42 games. If you can't do it in 42 games, why should you do it in 3 cup matches?
Yeah. Now,
But what happens in rugby is the top 4 then go into, though you have the league and the league's finished, the top 4 then go into a cup competition. To win the
how do you like Australia?
Just
How
got
about
finished 4th and win the Premiership trophy.
Australian rules football? How do you like it?
Collingwood fan.
Okay, so you do like it.
Yeah.
Would you rather sit and watch a rugby match or an Australian rules football game?
Rugby, because I played the game.
Okay.
But I do love watching Aussie rules.
Now, rugby's played on a rectangular field where Australian rules is circular.
Normally uses the cricket grounds, a lot of it. If you notice, it's the MCG, the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
But they always play on the circular part of the ground.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if you hit it, if you kick it and it goes through the uprights and lands past the line, that's worth 5.
If you put it between the 2 middle uprights, and it's not touched by an opponent player, that's 6 points for behind.
6 points, and they do like this. And then if it's a side, they call
1
it
point. You get 1 point per side.
It's a behind. Yeah, behind.
Rob,
also,
if I was a pro football player, this would be my celebration. Because that's the motion the referee makes for a goal.
For 6 points.
The kind of two arms in a circular motion pointing one finger.
But if you kick and it's going through the middle, the opponents can touch the ball, then it goes from a goal to behind.
Oh, okay. Now, the damn ball is not round, but you see them running and bouncing the ball and it comes right back to them. That must take a lot of practice to be able to do
Plenty of
that.
practice, yeah.
Yeah. Now, have you ever kicked an Australian rules football?
No.
No. Okay. How about you, Tim? Have you ever tried to kick an Australian?
I've only ever seen a rugby football once. I watch. I'll if it's on and I'm up, I'll watch Aussie rules football. I love it.
Yeah, I actually like Aussie rules football better than I do rugby.
Yeah,
I
only
do.
because there's more going forward.
Right, you moving around a hell of a lot more. You got people bouncing, like kicking it from one, because every time they catch it, you can't tackle them.
Well, you think
kind of throwing a line there.
Yes.
You think you're looking at 160-yard long pitches because they're being played on a cricket ground. You think you got 70-yard boundaries either side, then you're playing on about 160-yard long pitch.
I didn't realize it was that far. So when they kick your ball, to each other, they're kicking 40 and 50 yards to each other. Then
yeah, at least. And if you catch the ball within 50, like clean catch within 50 meters, you get if you catch it anytime.
Any catch that you catch clean, you can mark.
Right. Yeah, and then you can kick the ball, but usually within 50 meters, you're going for a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you mark it, you then go back because the opponents can stand right where the mark is.
They can stand exactly where you marked it at. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's why they moved back.
So you'll go back a bit and then you'll kick it.
Yeah, and then now I wonder if you can actually kick one of those farther than you can a football. It looks more bouncy to them. Because how many footballs have you ever seen that you could take it bouncing on the ground and the damn thing? I mean, these things they're running full out with it when they because they can't take so many steps.
Than a football, than an
right? It's more rounded off. I know, kind of like a watermelon.
It's like rugby. As a fullback, you were told never let the ball bounce because if it hit on the point, it could go anywhere.
Right.
You still have to try and get it on the full.
Now, when they're running, how many steps can they take, Paul, without getting into? I mean, obviously, you can't just put it under your arm and just run like hell. That's against the rules.
No, you have to bounce it and you hand pass it. I like some of these skilled hand passes as well.
Yeah, and you punch it with your fist. Yeah. But how many steps can you take between times that you bounce it? You don't know that rule. Know. Which of you are going to die me
of Gaelic football as well. When you can run, you have to bounce the ball when you're running with it. Have you ever seen Gaelic football, Irish football?
I have not.
Well, the goal in Gaelic football, you've got a normal football goal, but then you've got 2 posts above it. And you get something like 3 points for a goal or 1 point if you put it above the crossbar in the middle. But they run with it and got it in their hands.
Okay. Okay. I got you. So is Oklahoma going to be a top 10 team this year?
I can only hope so. Not been the same since Sykes went from head coach.
Yeah, they definitely. I think they can definitely be up in the Pac. I mean, in the Big 12. I think they can. I think they've got a chance. And then
but there was talk at one time of the Sooners leaving the Big 12 and going somewhere else into another group.
To the Pac-12. To the Pac-12.
Yeah, Pac-12.
But that didn't happen yet. Not yet, anyway. And they were even. Let's see.
Who's going to the Pac-12?
They're not going to the SEC, are they? No, Oklahoma.
Couldn't be the SEC.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's going to the SEC. Yeah. That's right. They're going to the SEC in 2 years. Yes. So they're going to be playing against Alabama.
Is that a step up, step down, or?
SEC is the best. It's the best conference because you got Oklahoma. I mean, you got Alabama. You got LSU.
The national champion almost always comes from the SEC.
So all of
it's like if you were to put your conferences in order, they would be like the Premier League, the SEC.
I would say yes. A lot of people like the Big Ten would say no. I would say yes.
Yeah, I was thinking
right now, if you had to say the best conference out there, once they get Texas and Oklahoma, is it the SEC?
Well, the SEC,
the Longhorns are coming as well.
The national champion comes from the SEC probably about better than 80% of the time. And
right, 4 out of 5 times national champion comes from
USC had a few. Ohio State's had one or two.
Yeah. I would say the SEC is the premier.
Alabama, Auburn, LSU, and Georgia. I mean,
it's SEC, then it's Big Ten, and then it's a lot of space, and then it's Yeah, but SEC, if you want to watch good, hard football every week, especially when Texas and Oklahoma get there, you have LSU, you have Arkansas, you're going to have Alabama.
Let's put it this way: out of the 4 playoff teams, when they've had the
Alabama,
4 playoff teams,
Clemson,
2
and
of
the
them
teams
are
that always come to
always
me
with
as top
SEC.
Yeah,
teams.
now Clemson's ACC. That's a Atlantic Coast Conference team,
Yeah,
but they're good. Yeah, they
They're
are
good,
good.
yeah.
They are the few teams and the ACC. It's good, but like Keith said, every year there's 4 teams here that's been making the championship 4.
Is it this year it
Two-
goes to
two of
12?
them. Huh?
Is it this year it goes to 12? Playoff teams?
I want to say one more year after this year.
Okay.
It may be this year, but I think it's one more year. But out of the 4 teams, Paul, 2 of them virtually every year are SEC teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're
And-
just that good.
If Texas are coming as well, we've still got the Oklahoma-Texas rivalry that'll still be there as well, the Longhorns Sooners.
Oh, no
Yes.
DJ Ukulele this season for Clemson. Tim's trying to get the question in. We're not letting him.
Right. I don't know.
We call him DJ Ukulele because we don't want to say Ualagalele.
Yeah. Now, is he a running back?
No, DJ was a
Quarterback.
quarterback.
Was he a quarterback?
Yeah.
Did he get hurt
He
last
got
year?
pulled for the freshman in like week 6, right?
Oh, okay.
What's
Yes.
the name of that quarterback that's going to be for Tennessee this year?
Well, with Hendon Hooker gone, I don't know.
He had a strong arm. He played for them down the stretch there when Hooker got hurt.
Oh, yeah. He's about 6'4", 6'5", big kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What was his name?
Joe Milton. No, that's previously played quarterback. Hold on,
doesn't
one second.
sound right.
Let me look up the Tennessee depth chart.
University of
Yes,
Tennessee quarterback.
I think he's got a real good arm, supposedly a strong arm.
Navy Schuler? No. Gaston Moore. Nico Iamaleava. No, that's not it either.
We have Joe Milton the third.
Joe Milton looks like he's going to be the quarterback.
Well, who was the quarterback for their last
Navy
game?
Schuler was redshirt junior, so he was there. And then you have Gaston Moore.
When you talking about when Tennessee beat up on? Let's see, we got when they beat Alabama.
No,
That was Hooker that did that.
yeah, but who played their
Are you
last
talking about? Are you
two
talking about when Georgia gang slapped them?
Well, who was their quarterback the last couple games of the regular season?
He's gone. I think. I don't think he's there anymore. Let's see.
He's not?
Who was the? Yeah, I don't think it's none of them 4. No. Who was the guy? Who was that? That's right. South Carolina beat the shit out of them with him.
I was thinking that the
Oh,
guy-
yeah,
South Carolina versus
that's right.
Tennessee football last year.
That was-
63-38.
And that was Joe Milton. That was the quarterback.
Oh, okay. But I thought he was the guy that had a real good, supposed to have a real
Let's
strong
see
arm.
who played after that game.
Now Tennessee and South Carolina, it was actually Hooker that played against Spencer Rattler.
Right.
Hooker
Then
went
Milton played the
25.
next week against Vanderbilt.
Oh, this is Hannah. She's here a lot.
Can't resist the camera, just like you, Keith.
Now, how about Paul? Do you have any cats or dogs or anything like that?
One dog,
One dog,
Cocker Spaniel.
Cocker Spaniel, and no Shetland ponies.
No. I leave my son's girlfriend to do all the horse riding. She's the show jumper.
Oh, really? Okay. I got you there. Yeah. After we leave here, go back on YouTube and go back and watch. What was it? Stage whatever it was today, 14 or 15, whatever
15
it was.
today.
And watch where the guy actually reaches out, grabs the guy's handlebars, and pulls it out from under.
Well, if it's on camera, they should be able to find him and arrest him.
Yes. Yes. I hope they do.
Or unless the team get hold of him, and then I don't fancy his chances. He'd prefer to be arrested.
Right. That, they'd run over him with a team car. Damn right they would. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because remember that what was it? It's been about 16, 17 years ago. It was when the dude the one that was doping up all the time. What was his name? Armstrong. Armstrong got stopped, right?
Yeah.
He got stopped on the damn road, and this woman was out there throwing her clothes at him. He got a water bottle and squirted her with water and said something about we can have a wet t-shirt contest afterwards. And he took off, and somebody tried to flatten one of his tires, and they actually took the guy. And they said it was off camera, but they actually took the guy and they threw him off the side of a mountain. Now, they said it was 100 feet he dropped. It looked further than that. And it hurt him badly. It didn't kill him. But I'm sure they wouldn't have cared if it would have killed him. But I mean, he was on the side of a mountain and tried to flatten one of his tires with a needle or some shit. And 4 or 5 of the team people took him and they all picked him up and threw him.
That's the trouble with how slippery the side of those mountains are, isn't it?
I'm sure it was an accident. Yeah, I'm sure it was an accident. I'm sure
he stepped back too far.
Yeah, he stepped back too far. A little gravel under his foot gave way, and then all of a sudden he fell.
I'm surprised any of you Americans still own Lance Armstrong.
He's essentially been out of sight, out of mind now that he's.
Yeah, he doesn't say a whole lot no more. Would Zion Williamson try to kill himself?
Nah, it's probably a cryptic Instagram post.
Question for Paul: has anybody? How many times did somebody try to disrupt Wimbledon by going out there and throwing shit on the?
One time is too many.
I'm surprised. What is this? The no more oil thing that's going on?
The trouble is, what's Wimbledon got to do with the oil industry? What's the snooker got to do with the oil industry?
Yeah,
they made a mess of that table.
They did. I saw that.
You know, do they just go to jail for a couple hours?
Alcaraz now up 3-1 in the third. How about that?
Well, they should be arrested, but the trouble is with British law, they'll just be slapped wrists and caution and sent off if they got no record. And to me, half the protesters, I think, in half these demos have got nothing to do with the cause at all. They just want to go and cause trouble.
I saw yesterday where people in Germany were super gluing their hands to the road and sitting there, and they had to send a crew out there
I'll tell you how you handle that situation. This is the way to do it, Keith. Have you ever heard of a tow motor with forks? You get a tow motor with forks, and you go out there to the road, and you put the forks right on the road and slide under their bodies, right? Then you lift them with the tow motors, and then as the hands come splitting off the road, then you just have somebody there can hold them there and tie their hands together.
I would suddenly, just once they glue themselves to the road, I would just find one of those fire engines and just squirt them with ice cold water and make them stay there and freeze.
Oh, how about run over them?
Yeah.
Four-wheelers would be nice.
No,
four-wheelers.
No, the trouble is the cameras. Cameras would catch you running over them.
Yeah. I think running over them is the best way. I really protesting in the street's an idiot. You know.
Now the law has sort of said if you block traffic, we can arrest you. If you are keeping the flow of traffic, we can arrest you.
A lot of the dads that want more access to their kids and that dressing as Superman or Spider-Man and climbing up these towers and everything.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now where's that happening? Over in England?
It's happened everywhere, but yeah, in England, a few places there's been somebody that's climbed up a crane, and been on top of the crane, in his Spider-Man outfit. We don't know who he is because he's in a Spider-Man outfit.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish they say I want to watch somebody do that, climb a crane. Now you don't see him climb the side of a building, do you?
Not so much, no.
Nah, that would be bad if he had some kind of way to climb the side of a building.
So what's going to happen with the movie industry now? I hear all the people, the screenwriters and everything, are walking out.
Yeah, the SAG-AFTRA just went on or joined the writers with strike.
We can only hope. We can only hope. Hey,
Nope.
I ain't sitting there watching a movie. I don't watch movies, man. I don't watch.
Nobody goes to the movies here. Hardly. Well, it's got to be like a Marvel movie.
I didn't say that. I said I don't watch a movie. I don't watch a movie. I bet I hadn't watched 5 movies in the last 20 years.
I was tied up last weekend. Unless otherwise, I was going to go and watch the latest Indiana Jones one that's just come out over here.
Never seen it. Never seen no Indiana. I've never seen E.T. I never saw Indiana Jones. I never saw Star Wars. No Star Wars movie. None of them ever.
Just think, I used to think highly of you, Rob. You've just gone down in my esteem. Not watching Star Wars.
I had to.
He's just like Freddie Mercury.
I don't even remember what it was.
Was never my scene, and I don't like Star Wars.
Yeah. No.
I've never watched.
No, it's like any form of movie. It's take it or leave it.
I'm lying to you. I watched the movie not too long ago. Planet of the Apes or something takes over. What the hell was it?
Was it the 60s version or was it?
It was the old one. It was the old one. And at the end, you see where the
was it Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
It might have been. It was one of them.
Yeah, and the older ones are usually the better ones.
Yeah, and then at the end there, you see half of the Statue of Liberty sitting on it. Yeah, they got cut in half and shit. And he like starts crying.
It's like watching. I loved reading the Jack Reacher books, written by Lee Childs. I think they're brilliant. And Jack Reacher is a 6'5" ex-Royal Marine military police sergeant that's built like the proverbial outhouse.
And then we put
in the movie Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, 5'3".
Yep.
Yeah, 5'3" with high shoes on.
Yeah.
Paul, because you can't find a 6'5" guy in Hollywood anymore. They all got to be the shorter.
Well, they all got to be 5'9" and weigh 135 pounds.
It makes.
I must admit, I'm joking now. I think the next James Bond's going to be a black lesbian because obviously they've got to fill all the public rights and be politically correct.
Oh yeah.
Zoe Saldana. Well, she's not a lesbian, but.
All this political correctness really does drive me bonkers.
Oh, and that's why you're not going to see any sitcoms on television in the next 10 years.
Somebody always gets offended.
Who's going to get offended?
There's one I used to watch back maybe late 60s, early 70s called Love Thy Neighbor. And it was 2 couples that the white men wouldn't get on with each other and were always sorted. And the white wife and the black wife got on like anything. And it was so funny, but you couldn't put it on nowadays because it'd be so racist.
Well, The Neighborhood on CBS is sort of like that.
Well, how about if you wanted to put Sanford and Son on now? Have you ever heard of Sanford and Son, Paul?
No.
Sanford and Son was a black guy that had a junkyard, and he had his son, and he would call anybody whatever he wanted to, and there was not a word in the dictionary he wouldn't use, Paul.
Yeah.
And this was 72 and 73. Yeah.
If you ever want to see a great bit of racism, if you can get hold of some old copies of Till Death Us Do Part with Warren Mitchell playing Alf Garnett, that is absolutely brilliant. He's a Hammers fan, but he's a Londoner, and he says what he thinks, and you
love it. And you love it.
Yeah.
Till Death Us Do Part.
Yeah. A lot of these are appearing on YouTube now, though.
Yeah. I noticed some of the shows are popping up on YouTube now.
We can't put them on TV, but we can put them on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the only people you can make, humor about anymore are just plain Caucasian individuals or Christians. And otherwise, if you make a joke about anybody else, it's like somebody gets upset.
You're crossing the line. And then,
it's
gonna make an
it's like in the UK, it's supposed to be a Christian country.
Whatever they do.
If I insult a Muslim, that's bad. But if a Muslim insults me as a Christian, that's just run of the mill. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let me give you this one, Paul. You've heard of Atlantic City, New Jersey?
Yes.
All right. that state of New Jersey is. Let me tell you what they have instituted for the school system this year. There were some parents and some kids that wrote into the schools and said their kids wanted to be now determined as cats or dogs. New Jersey, hold on now. New Jersey is allowing this. New Jersey is going to allow this. So now, when little Tommy Cat, because you got to call him Cat now, not this little Tommy, but Tommy the cat, comes into the room. Tommy Cat, how are you doing today? He can actually respond by woof woof or meow meow. They're going to allow that. Okay. Whoa. Let me give you the Kappa here.
If I was a student, I'm taking my cat to school, and man,
How about this one now? Some are demanding a box to be able to shit in.
I'm just thinking of the teacher marking the essay.
You're going to have kids
how about
on a leash.
How about at lunchtime we open a can of cat food and give it to the son of a bitch and see if we gonna eat it?
Yeah, exactly.
I can just think of the teacher marking the essay from Shirley the dog. Woof woof woof. Woof 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 woof. Woof woof woof. Woof woof woof.
Can you imagine? Tommy Wolf.
And then you're a teacher.
Howl.
What about it? You're a teacher and you say, "Hey, Tommy the dog," and Tommy gets up and comes and starts licking you.
How about it today? Today is picture day in school. So the teacher wears her nicest dress to school down to her knee. Little Tommy, I hope you're happy today. He gets up and starts humping her leg. Now what the hell are you gonna do then?
Just see how big the teacher's smile is.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord, that is funny.
Paul would go over there and start petting little Tommy's back.
So
take little Tommy and get him neutered is what the hell the first thing you need to do.
You want to see some funny shit, Alex? Go back and watch Family Feud with a younger Brad Garrett standing next to Ray Combs. It is hilarious.
Wow.
Because Brad Garrett's legit 6'9". I didn't know.
He's the one that killed himself, wasn't he? Ray Combs?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he committed suicide. Yeah. I thought he did.
No, this is in the early 90s when he wasn't well known, and I guess they were like young comics on the show, and you see Brad Garrett and poor Ray Combs has to get a stool to stand next to him.
Tried to have Alan on this weekend. Alan's working on remodeling his house still. They're all in on that. They've had one bedroom worked on, now they're in the second bedroom, and so they had to move everything out of both bedrooms into one bedroom again. That would be very, very difficult for me and my wife to be able to walk around if we had to do that. So,
well, you had the bathroom done last year, right?
Yeah, I think so. So they're doing all sorts of stuff. I don't know. I'd love to be able to see it after they finish, but Keith's wanting to go over there.
I saw somebody put a still picture up of the new 7 dwarfs the other day, and the dwarfs weren't even dwarfs. They were like people 5 foot something tall.
Were they tall? So they were taller than Snow White.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because then Disney was saying that was not all the real dwarfs or something like that, or it was like some of them were and some of them weren't.
Might as well just be Snow White or 7 helpers.
Oh, but haven't you got to rename that film now?
Well, see,
a pale-coloured lady with 7 vertically challenged men.
I'm not even sure they were all men. I think one of them was a girl.
Yeah. I personally, I'm back to, I want to move the clock back a little bit. I want to call them the midgets.
I think you're going to have to remake that film with at least a female dwarf and a black dwarf.
Yeah. And a
Well,
Well,
couple
then
of
we got
others.
all in a tizzy about the Little Mermaid movie. It's like,
What the hell? What the hell's up with the Little Mermaid? What the hell's she doing now?
It's because the Little Mermaid was African American, and it wasn't African American in the animated film.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
I didn't see it. I had no interest to. I have no interest in ever seeing it. However, I have also never seen The Lion King, and
Right. Now we're gonna fucking offend the lion again. I mean the tiger. They're gonna put a tiger in there as a lion.
no, hold on. They did make a live action Lion King, and it actually did really well. And because they change
but it offends the
Supposedly
tiger.
that's your Seven Dwarfs.
What the frick?
The one on the left. The left was 7'3". Good God. Oh yeah, if they need to be playing a different song for them. They need to be playing. They need to be playing "If I Only Had a Brain." Yeah, that's a song they need to be playing for those jabronis.
You sure it's
No,
not
it's
How
called-
High They Are? Oh, for the Wings of a Dove. Come fly with me.
They need midgets,
Jeez.
man. Midgets have a place in this world.
Yeah.
And
I
they should
love
be-
that program with the American family that was on, with her
Yeah.
children as well and that.
The
Well,
roll-offs, yeah.
Well, and they need places in movies too, and that's 7 of them right there, and they're taking jobs away from those people.
Hmm.
That's bullshit.
Look,
7 minutes.
you even
7
let
midgets.
you even let that Warwick Davis into your Star Wars films in one of
yeah.
the R2D2s or something
Yeah,
because he could stand up in it.
right.
What was he actually? He stood up inside the R2D2 machine.
He probably
or
could,
whatever.
but Warwick Davis is in Star Wars somewhere. But yeah,
And he's a midget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played in Willow.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what they need to have. They need to allow these 7 midgets to be able to do their thing in this show.
Well,
And that's
even
so long.
the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original one, only had one, and they just CGI'd the whole thing.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, the Oompa Loompas. Or at least no, it was the current one, the redid one. They had one in CGI. The
Right.
original one had all of them.
But had like
the new
188 of them. Yeah, 100, Oh, look, 188 midgets. That's his job security. And now they're taking their jobs from him. This is bullshit.
And I didn't think much of the Johnny Depp remake of that one for the
one,
original.
I've never seen any of either of them.
I need to find somebody that is a lawyer and to represent these midgets, man, because I think they need to be heard.
Oh, go see. There's a how should I say? Little person comedian. I guess we'll put it nicely. Name's Brad Williams. I see the clips of him on Facebook.
Is he funny? Is he funny?
God, he is hilarious. I guess John Stamos had a fear of little people, and then he goes, "Do you want to go meet John Stamos?" He goes, "Yeah," and then he goes, "I guess Stamos has the fear of little people, and he's trying to sneak in, and then Stamos sees, goes, ah!"
Oh my
Rob, in
Lord.
case we overreacted, did you get their opinion of what we saw with the girl on the Phillies game yesterday?
Which one now? Oh, yeah. All right. This girl was how old, Keith?
I would say she's
6,
probably about 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
something
All
like that.
right. She's wearing a Phillies jersey, unbuttoned, nothing else under her. Yeah, we were just
It was
like,
probably what, a good 2-3 inches open.
this far. It was this far open, at least that far.
Guys, it's been great to chat, but unfortunately, I'm going to pull myself away now, if that's okay.
Do
I
what?
wish you well for the rest of the day.
You heading out?
Yeah, I've got a few things to do. So
Okay, I got you, man. You have a good one. I'm gonna have to head out too. It's on lunchtime here. It's 5 of 12, so it's 5 of 5.
yeah,
where
thanks
you're
for the
at.
afternoon. Been
Yeah,
good
man.
fun.
Thanks a lot, there, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah, stopping again. Good to see
Yeah,
it.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cheers.
he's been talking to us for about an hour and a half, so that's real cool. I don't know what to make of it, there, Keith. They kept showing it. They kept showing it.
Well, if they're behind home plate, they don't really have much of a choice.
Well,
No.
there, though.
This was
Actually,
a
they only
close up.
showed it one time, but it was
Was
still,
it?
they were,
It was
they
a close up on Keith of just that person, a girl.
No. I mean,
It was a
it's
close-
not as bad as the 2019 World Series when you had those two girls intentionally flashing.
No, I never
didn't
saw
see
that.
that.
Oh.
Is that still on video? Can you catch it on video nowadays?
Uh-huh.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
2019 World Series. The replay of the game, I intentionally went back and watched it. Of course, they cut that part out.
Game
6, I believe.
Okay. All right. 20.
I'll make
yeah.
sure.
That was in Houston then.
No. Then had been game 5. Hold on, let me see.
It was in Washington. That was the one the road team won every game, right?
That was game 5. Yeah. No, it was game 5. Yep, and there are videos, and you may get some with the. I mean, it's not an up close thing, like they're like right up there on it, but it's essentially center field camera gets them, and then probably they get notified, hey, get these 2 females out of here,
Where were they sitting?
right behind home plate.
And they were showing their breasts?
Yeah, they pulled their shirts up. They were part of some organization that they wanted to get famous
Oh.
by doing it, and MLB said you're no longer allowed to be in any of our parks.
Wow.
So
Yeah, I don't have a hang up really with women, their breasts and stuff, but
Yeah, really.
the laws are the laws, though, and you gotta kind of.
Yeah, if you got a kid, I think you don't want to do that.
I mean, I don't think that they should be put in jail for showing their boobs. I mean, if they find
PJ said, were they worth looking at?
well, I mean, they didn't really see their faces because the camera like kind of hid their faces, but you definitely saw.
Oh, so the cameraman was a dirty old man too. Then, so he didn't give a damn about their faces. He just wanted to show one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, Djokovic is down now 3-1 in third set. So,
Yeah.
1 set apiece. So, and Alcaraz is trying to break him right here in the fifth game. So, Djokovic needs to win this one. He could be in some serious trouble. He was favored, odds-on favored in England, but in Vegas, Alcaraz was a favorite. Alcaraz was a favorite in Vegas, but overseas, Djokovic was a favorite. So it's interesting to see that. So. And now Djokovic is got the advantage, so we'll see if he can make it 3-2 in just a second. Be back on with Rory finally wins again. Yep. And next week he'll be looking to win the British Open. Should be very, very interesting. Paul says he played that course before back some
Which
years
one
ago.
are they playing this year?
They're gonna play Royal Liverpool, so it was Hoy Lake. And he says he's played there before. So it's got to be better. To me, I like it when the traps are in play. St. Andrews, they done got to where they can just wrap around that course. Somebody can throw a 500 there and you still won't be leading because it's laid out well enough to where people know where not to hit and where to hit. Rough doesn't kill you over there because it's like dead grass pretty much. So it's not a killer anyway. So we'll see what happens. I say the winner of that tournament will be in the double figures, 15, 16, 17 under. I think. Depending on the wind too, though. The wind's been deadly over the last few days, especially we were watching airplanes. We were watching jets land at Heathrow yesterday. And I mean, a couple of times they had to fly through and come back around and do it again because their wings were just about ready to hit the ground and landed. It's 35-mile-an-hour winds over there still. So I like to set, and I watch it live here on YouTube. It's actually a live feed. So if something were to happen, but it's wild to just see how good these pilots are that can do this stuff. It's wild, crazy. But we'll see how things go there. Baseball staying busy today, full slate of games.
Guardians lost first 2 games against the Rangers. Haven't scored a run in 16 innings.
Yeah, they're not playing the best right now. They're not playing, but the Twins aren't playing great either, are they?
They don't have to play
Well,
great now. Then
is it-
Bieber is going to miss his next start because of forearm issue.
Yeah, I saw he had to have a. He's got to have.
MRI.
He's got to go MRI on Monday. Yeah, so he'll at least miss a start. So
Great.
So Alcaraz should go to Alcatraz.
Except for that, it's, Braves are running away with it. They won last, and I know I got to.
And the Dodgers starting to warm up a little bit now. I really think the Snakes are going to be good if they finish second. I really do. I don't see them catching them now. And now the Dodgers are talking about getting Giolito. And if they get Giolito, that should really help them. So
the White Sox are going to be sellers this year, so they're probably going to pawn off.
And if they were to get Giolito and Scherzer, which it's been rumored they may even go after both of them. Look at that staff. Then that staff is the best in baseball. Then
why would they want Scherzer again if they had him and didn't want to pay him?
Well, the Mets actually got they got a discount for him, is what they're saying. But I don't know. Scherzer only got a 2-year deal, 3-year deal.
Oh,
I think he got 2 years is all. He's pitching okay right now. He's pitching better than Sherline than
might want to
Verlander.
put a trade package together to the Cubs to try to get Stroman or something.
Stroman right now would be the number one piece that the Phillies could use over Soto. And I realize Juan Soto is on their top of their list, and he actually got a flight from Seattle at the All-Star game and flew back to Philadelphia with the Phillies organization. And I don't know if anybody knew that or not.
The Cubs are probably willing to sell pitchers like Stroman, Smiley, Hendricks. I mean,
You care if I go to Bingo with Mike and Beverly?
No, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
they're not going to sell Steele, but Stroman, Hendricks, and Smiley.
And now they're saying Arenado's on the block. Arenado, man, oh man, and no Goldschmidt. People are saying Goldschmidt is off the block. Goldschmidt's not being talked about. I would have thought just the opposite. Goldschmidt.
You wonder how big of a cancer that Arenado might end up being on a team. Because if St. Louis is willing to get rid of him after 2 years, it makes you wonder how big of a cancer he was in Colorado.
Yeah, because they really, really couldn't get rid of him quick enough. They did not want him anymore.
And you look at Colorado. I mean, they signed Chris Bryant, but then they let Arenado sign somewhere else. So
they traded Arenado.
Okay, well, still, I mean, they were willing to part ways.
Yeah, they traded Arenado. They got some pieces. They got some pieces for him.
Hi, guys.
She says hi and bye.
Hi,
Bye.
I'm not going to trade for Arenado.
When I come back, we'll get trash off.
All right. Now the Royals are actually talking. The Royals right now, the few fans that are going to their games they're saying we are going to not come to the games if they trade their catcher, and I'm hearing he's on the block. He's the best player they got.
To me, his issue is that he had Tommy John surgery a couple of years ago.
What's his name?
Salvador Perez.
Yeah.
What's
his
age? I don't know.
You get something for him. I wouldn't give top tier for him.
No.
Because I don't think you can throw anybody out unless you agree to make him a designated hitter. Then he might have a little bit of value. But
yeah, but is he hitting well enough? Is he hitting 300? Is he hitting for power that good? Does he deserve that? I don't know. Somebody better be hitting 300 if that's all they can do is hit. And speaking of power, what happened to Harper yesterday? How about 4 hits in a doubleheader? How about that?
Mm-hmm.
He got 2 singles, a double, and a home run. So it's his first homer he's hit.
Does Oakland have anything to sell this year?
Oh, they got a bunch of. They always have pitching.
Well,
Oakland has pitching every year. I don't know how the hell they get it.
right.
I think they go. I think they go on. I think you go to Alcatraz and find them and bring them back. But
Perez
they
is
get it
hitting
some kind of way.
255 with 15 homers and 40 RBIs.
no, he's not. He like you say, he's worth maybe a single round reach, a single A reach, somebody
Right.
like that. But he ain't worth one of your AAA talents that you're willing to bring up soon. I wouldn't give up for it. Would you?
No.
No, I wouldn't
About
either.
3 years ago, the White Sox were poised to be like one of the next great teams with a
And-
rich farm system, and they were making the moves to get the current club in order and everything. It's just like the whole bottom fell out of everything on there.
White Sox and Padres. Padres are just a year behind.
Well, the
That's all.
Padres did a lot of buy-in to get their
Yeah,
team put
yeah,
together,
but the White
the
Sox.
White Sox kind of built it with trading
Yeah.
pieces to get the good prospects and everything.
Yeah.
They had this really strong farm system. They were just picking up some free agent pitchers to try to get it put together with Giolito and the Lance Lynn's and the guy that they had that was a
Yeah.
former Indian. Was it Kluber or something there for a while?
Yeah.
And but it's
Not
just
Kluber.
like-
It wasn't Corey Kluber. Let's see.
Oh, it was Clevenger.
Clevenger. Yeah, Clevenger.
Okay, well, whoever it was, but it's just like none of that panned out, and now Abreu's gone.
Right.
They traded that piece out, and
Yeah. And the thing is, if you want to talk about it, the White Sox had a window with lesser known talent, but look at the Padres now. Look at all the money they are spending. And now they're saying we're willing to get rid of Soto. We're willing to get rid of Machado. They're
Yeah.
willing to get rid of these pieces
Which
now.
is why I'll never advocate for a salary cap for baseball. You can spend all the money in the world that you want to.
Right.
It don't mean crap.
No,
Mhm.
You can go out there and get the All-Star team that the National League had this year and put them on one team. But the moment that 3 or 4 of those get hurt and you got somebody off the bench that has to step in there and do something, it changes
the
things.
Angels have been doing that for like 12 years now. They spend all this money, but they're never better than mediocre.
Yep.
Alcaraz wins the third set. We're going to the fourth with Alcaraz up 2-1.
Well, it's going to go 5 if Djokovic. Yeah, 6-1. He went 6-1, and he's serving in the 4th set. Wow.
All right. Anyway, let's
So
go back to baseball here.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But yeah, if some of these teams look are not overpaying, the Diamondbacks. You didn't say. I mean, the offseason they spent some money, but they didn't go out here and go crazy. The Rangers went a little nuts. The Rangers, I think they bought where they shouldn't have bought. We said all along that kid DeGrom, he's not worth $5 million a year as a risk. He's just not, because you're not going to have him that long. He's injury prone, just like a kid.
There, Tim Anderson. Now that's a guy. He's been spending time on the DL, and he's starting to kind of
Yeah.
come back. But he's the guy that didn't he win a batting title one year?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And he's
Josh
a superstar.
Hader is a guy right now that I think he feels underappreciated. Would love to go to a team that would say, you sir, are our closer.
He's the
Because-
closer in San Diego, right?
I thought he got thrown to the 8th inning, and they put this other guy out there to been closing for him. At first he was. Now he may be the closer now, but at first he was relegated to the 8th inning. They were like, if it's lefty righty, it depends on what we're going to do. But it was a real big guy, a real stout guy out there. They let him be their closer.
Baez strikes out a lot, but
Bellinger,
he has a flair
Man,
for
Bellinger, you just don't know.
Yeah, Bellinger's swing is
Bellinger,
simple.
Yeah. Who do you think should be the favorite for NL MVP right now? National League MVP right now. You probably got to look at Atlanta, and you probably got about 4 chances there. I mean,
Right.
hell,
Somebody that starts with an A, huh?
Well, Acuna, what about the kid that's leading in home runs and RBIs?
is that Olsen?
Yeah,
Olsen,
The first
Yeah.
baseman.
yeah.
and then you got Yeah. And
Julio,
then
who's already got 40 stolen bases and could probably easily hit 40
Freddie
home
Freeman's
runs.
had a heck of a
Yep.
year too, hasn't
then
he?
Yeah,
Freddie
it's
Freeman?
probably going to be the Atlanta people and then probably Freddie Freeman third.
and then you got to pitching in Atlanta. I mean, you're probably gonna have 4 15-game winners come out of Atlanta.
And then that rookie outfielder for Arizona's had a pretty good year too.
Corbin Carroll.
Yeah. And then Arizona's had some good pitching too. They're the kid Gallen. He's still pitching great. Yeah. And Darling gets so mad at me. She says, "We have an all-star. We got an all-star. His name is what's the name after that right field? Castellanos. Look at his numbers since the All-Star break, folks.
That's only 2 days.
three games.
3 games for 2 days.
That's all right. He's dropped almost 18 points in batting average. He's not going to lead this team in batting average, home runs, or RBIs. Nothing. You wait. By the end of the year, he's not going to lead this team in nothing. Nothing. He's not going to do it.
Is there anybody on the Pirates right now? Anybody willing to? They're willing to deal?
Well, the outfielder.
That third baseman is too young.
Who's that? Brian. What's his name? He plays outfield.
Brian Hayes.
No, white kid. Brian.
Yeah, Brian Hayes is the third baseman, I thought.
No, what's his kid's name? Brian. Shit.
They were off to a good start.
Yeah,
Pirates outfielder up for trade. Not McCutchen, chat. No,
McCutchen's not going anywhere.
No. What's the guy's name, folks? You guys, Brian Reynolds. Yeah, Brian Reynolds. Yeah, he'd be the trade piece they've got. If anybody wants anything, he can hit. Brian Reynolds. Yeah, De La Cruz is fun. De La Cruz is fun to watch, but it doesn't hurt to have an idiot on the mound that's looking out in the outfield, tells the way 2 outs, and then he turns around and sees a guy sliding in the home plate. Yeah.
What's Trevor Bauer doing these days?
Japan.
He's over in Japan and still doing vlogs every day. Yeah. He's doing YouTube videos. Yeah. Talk about how great he is. He talks. Yeah.
That's what he does. He can't even stay with the club that he signed with. He's got demoted to like their minor leagues.
And he's always talking about his the hot chick that is his what do you call it? The one that represents him is his agent. Yeah, he's always talking about Rachel. He's always telling Rachel Lupa or whatever her name is, and she is good looking. Yeah, my God, I mean, dude, play a little ball once in a while. Yeah, he don't have. He even goes over in Japan. He's went over there in a batting cage and let some kids swing, high school players.
Soto? Alex Soto?
Was that Juan Soto?
Is he
no. He's batting 255. No. And let me tell you right now, somebody can't get out of town quick enough. His name is Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns
out of Milwaukee.
He's been lit up like a torch by the press up in Milwaukee. Well, number one, he didn't get the money he wanted, and why did he not get it? He went before. What do you call it?
Arbitration.
Yeah. What was Milwaukee's argument? We didn't make the playoffs. and what did he say? He said, "You cost of me, damn it! Because of me." Look at me every fifth day, motherfuckers. And he did. He told them. He went in there and raised hell with them. They say he left. He and his lawyer and his agent left. And when he left, he flipped the table over and said, "This is enough of this shit." And he left. That was at the beginning of the season. And nothing's gotten any better with it. He's not happy now. Who has a better shot at returning to the Major League Baseball, Trevor Bauer or Yasiel Puig? Bauer. But I don't think neither one of them will, because Bauer, when you mess around with women you got a lot more than just how you play. Puig is lost
League in
now.
Japan too.
I'm not even
He's
sure Puig.
retired. Plus, I think he's also facing jail time.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then the one player that is not retired, that has not signed a retirement paper yet, you won't believe him. He hadn't played in 5 years, 6 years, and he's making $24 million this year off of the Yankees and Mariners. Does anybody know his name?
Oh, Robinson Cano.
Yeah, he is still not retired. He's making $24 million this year. Salary.
Is Jonas Cespedes retired or?
Jonas Cespedes. Yeah, I think he retired.
He walked away during the COVID thing, and I wasn't sure. If
I think he did.
Yeah, he
did. But
Yeah.
I was watching yesterday.
Oh, he was even asking about that. I didn't even see him.
Yeah. And then I was watching the Phillies play yesterday, and they brought his name up, Robinson Cano. I didn't have any. I just thought he was gone and retired. They said nope. His name is still on a list that teams could try to go out and try to get him if they wanted him.
Didn't he spend like a month with somebody this year or last year?
About him too, Nelson Cruz.
He was in Seattle, and Seattle wanted to use him as a what do you call it? A goodwill merchant, pretty much. We would like for you to be here and greet other owners, other general managers, sit in the press box, talk stuff, and somebody in the hierarchy of Seattle, when they heard him say something, I forgot what it was, they laughed at him. They thought he said something about go shit on somebody, and he was talking about go sit somewhere, and they thought he said go shit on somebody.
Well, he
and whoever it was laughed at him, and he saw that shit, and he got offended by it and said, "Hell no, nope! I either play or I'm not going to do anything." So
Cano did play for 3 teams last year.
You said he did?
Yeah, he played for the Mets. He started with the Mets, then he went to San Diego, then he went to Atlanta.
Who was that?
Cano, yeah.
And now he's still making money. I want to say with Seattle, he still owes him money.
Let me pull up his.
It might be the Mets. I believe it is the Mets that owe him money. Look at the Mets payroll this year. They've got 11 players that's not even on their roster now. They're still paying Bonilla all the way to 2034. They still got 11 more years to pay that jabroni.
Getting 20 and a quarter million for Cano because he signed a 2-year deal.
That's the Mets.
Yeah,
and something with the Mariners is still paying him too. I don't know what the hell that is. It's like he's making $24 million this year. Is what I heard. But yeah, let's just check in Mets payroll. They're paying like $50 million or more to players who's not even on their damn roster anymore.
Like Brett Saberhagen, I thought I saw was getting paid by them.
It could be, yeah. It's crazy shit.
Mets payroll here.
New York Mets payroll of players no longer playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saberhagen's getting $250K from them this year.
Yeah. How about that shit? Brett Saberhagen's 83 years old, folks.
Yeah, 59 years old.
Yeah, he's older than I am.
Rob, if you're the Phillies, would you have any interest in Justin Turner? I like his bat. I've always liked his bat.
I like his bat pretty good. I don't know if he's any better than Alec Bohm, though. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I like him in tough situations for some reason.
How about this one? Yeah. Robinson Cano, Darren Ruff, Thomas Nido, Tommy Hunter, Dennis Santana, Chris Flexen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Eduardo Escobar, James McCann, Gary Sanchez.
Yeah. So it's Thomas Nido, 1.6 million. Darren Ruff, 3 million this year. Tommy Hunter, 696,000 this year. Dennis Santana, $1 million. Chris Flexen, 8.2 million. And Robinson Cano with 24 million. And that, well, let's see, hold on. Also, the money owed to Baltimore in the James McCann trade, 11 million.
Mm-hmm.
Money owed to the Angels in the Eduardo Escobar trade, 4.7 million. And these players not even playing anymore, folks. Money paid by the Mets to Eduardo Escobar, 4.3 more million. Money due for the buyout of Taijuan Walker, who is with the Phillies, 3 million. Money due for the buyout of Michael Givens, 1.5 million. Chris Bassett, 150,000. Gary Sanchez, 80,000. Now the money paid to the Mets by the Giants for Darren Ruff, so we can subtract 108,000. That's money coming back to them. Money owed from Seattle for the Robinson Cano trade, 3.7 million. And money paid by the Mariners to Trevor Gott and Chris Flexen, 4.6 million. Unbelievable money, man. It's so estimated payroll, $362 million, counting all those players. 362.
And
their payroll already for next year is 235. If they don't sign another player, unfriggin' believable. At least they're 11 million for owed to James McCann for Baltimore, goes to 8 million next year, but still, my Lord.
And the dumb thing is why the fuck not pay off Bobby Bonilla one time?
Why don't you? But they had a chance to do this, and they offered him. They said, "Look, we owe you $14 million. It's back in a year or two ago. We will give you $20 million." He turned it down. Is he that bad with money where he's so worried about that if he blows this, that he's still got more money coming in? But it sounds like
it's 12 years.
It sounds like he's owed for a while longer.
Okay, so then the question becomes: is he getting a pension while still getting this Mets money?
You see, I don't think he's supposed to be. I don't think he's supposed to be drawing pension, but I think what it does, which is totally crooked as hell, I think it keeps him on the active list. So it has him where he's been a player for 30 fucking years now, which is bullshit.
It's gonna be one of those.
So what's going to happen is this: when he does decide that it's time to make my money in retirement, how long have you played, Mr. Bonilla? 36 years. And 36 years annually, we put that, and we owe him $180,000 a year, and this son of a bitch is going to go out and draw another $3.5 million a year. $4.5 million or some bullshit like that. Can you imagine? Just because Mets were damn idiots.
I think there may be something in place of how long you were active or when did you last play in a game?
I don't know if that's the case or not, but I don't think he's eligible to draw retirement now. That's because I thought it was something in the effects of as long as you was drawing a salary as a player.
Okay.
But I would love for him to hop up and say, "Hey, all right, Bobby, we want you to dress. We want you to come out this weekend and have to sit in the dugout." 60 years old. Can you imagine that shit? Make him go out. You have to find a uniform to fit the fat son of a bitch. He's the
Or you
game.
gotta be a first base coach.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Have to wear a helmet now. He'd be like, "Oh, I gotta wear a helmet to do this." All that shit's changed.
Yep.
Clocks. What the hell's these clocks on the field for? There's pitch clocks now. Oh, that's new shit. All right. Hey,
It's like you woke up from a 35-year
Yeah.
cryo prison sentence or something like that.
Yeah, Rip Van Winkle.
Like Sylvester Stallone.
Rip Van Winkle has no damn clue what the hell's going on. He wakes up and goes to a ball game.
He just knows that every July 1st he gets a nice little check in the mail or gets a direct deposit in his account, and he can go on his merry way.
Yeah. Nobody can take my number as long as I'm there. How about that shit?
Now, what? I mean, I'm not trying to be morbid or something, but watch. Right after he gets his last payment within a year, he croaks.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
If he's 72, it's completely possible.
The Mets would be like, really? Can you imagine? But hell, you blame only the Mets for that shit. They bring in on their damn self. Who in their right mind signs somebody
Well,
to
look
a
at
contract?
Mookie Betts.
Was that like 3 ownership groups ago?
And this ownership group now takes it over, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know. But
They accept all the bullshit. Yeah, that's crazy stuff, man. We might slide back on here later. Yeah, Blue Jays are interested in signing Nelson Cruz. I saw that. I actually heard the Rangers interested too. Yep. Final words. Let's see. What's the tennis looking like now?
1-1 in the fourth set.
1-1 in the fourth. So Alcaraz could finish it off here. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I'd like to see Djokovic win, but I'm sure a lot of people would like to see Alcaraz win just because I don't think he's ever won anything big before, but he's number one. So what the hell? We'll see what happens. We'll be back on the channel with some more wrestling before the week's over with. You all have a great week. God bless. Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Tim. And thanks for our big special guest,
Paul Govier.
Paul. Yeah, I always forget his first name, Paul. So thank you, Paul, for coming on with us. We do appreciate it. God bless. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.